Welcome back to 3.0 TV, your go-to source for the latest insights in the world of digital currency and the blockchain technology. Joining us is Mr. Ravikant Agrawal, the Director of Growth at Provido ID, a company that spun off from the renowned Polygon Labs. Since we are talking about an authentic source of information, so there was a big episode that happened that shook the entire Magnificent 7 stocks in the US. I'm talking about the DeepSeek versus the OpenAI, and we have named this segment as the artificial intelligence arms race. There was a big sell-off in those seven stocks, and we have seen Chinese stocks that are closely related to the artificial intelligence move up a bit because of this broad base and the big initiative which they have launched.
Yes.
So how should business, in terms of the recent development and the race of low-cost technology, how should businesses and developers decide which AI platform to adopt? OpenAI, DeepSeek, or something else, since this is the broad-based initiative and we are just trying to understand which technology is best.
I think you got right in terms of picking up that particular incident. And I still remember, I think majority of the AI-based big tech stocks have dipped more than double digit. And I think coming back to your question, what it looks like is that it depends in terms of how a user or a developer is trying to utilize this particular technology. There can be several parameters to think about it. I believe the choice of a model depends upon how you are going to be leveraging this particular model. So each of this model have some kind of a unique strength, I would say, where, let's say, if we talk about ChatGPT, we are talking about more general purpose AI, more creative tasks being created. They got multilingual ability across many languages. While DeepSeek, I think they have got the headlines because of their cost of creation of this particular model, which was significantly low compared to what has been done by the other big boys. But then DeepSeek again comes with the language capability which are more APAC friendly, something like Chinese or Asian language, but at the same time it is a free open source kind of a AI model. There are a few more very interesting models that are competing in terms of where they play more. Something like Anthropic's Claude, which is more developer friendly. Developers love it in terms of creating their own codes. It's more suitable when it comes to reasoning, low hallucination rates, and so on. So I think there are different models when it comes to different use cases. Again, cost and performance could be another parameter to look at it. Whether there are, what is the price when it comes to interacting with this kind of model? What kind of APIs being available? Whether there are enterprise grade solutions available or not. So I think that's another important point. But one other parameter, since this topic is more related to privacy and how do we make AI better? I think another parameter is what is the data control and compliance associated to a particular model. So especially, let's say, if a developer from European Union or European region is trying to use it, they may have to see whether there is an open source or a self-hosted model available in order to use that so that they can be more compliant.
So since we are talking about a broad-based initiative which your company is already working on, if you can just explain it, how and what are, which businesses will adopt and which verticals will adopt, and you must be having some kind of strategy that this is your target audience will adopt the AI technology faster and offer innovative solutions to their users in turn.
Sure. Yeah, I think surprisingly, AI has gone through all the verticals, right? So I would say that AI is like an horizontal, which is cutting across all the business verticals, and every business vertical wanted to gain benefit, whether it is in terms of automation, efficiency, cost reduction, with the help of an AI productivity tool. So I think some of the areas of business vertical that comes again top of my mind, where it cut across all the verticals in terms of co-pilots and AI assistants. I think that's the first one that caught eye and attention from every one of us. Document processing could be another very interesting area where it can simplify a lot of human-labeled work. And I think automated workflows is an interesting area where things can be simplified, and agents which are now becoming more intelligent, they can work across the workflow and can solve more complex and difficult task. Maybe specifically, if we talk about a business vertical, healthcare seems to be at the top from our perspective, where we feel that when it comes to especially the healthcare vertical, how can there be more personal assistance that can be created? So imagine that if you wanted to get a morning routine from an AI agent, your morning routine should be different than my morning routine, depending upon your health stat versus my health stat. I think that is the kind of personalization that can go into healthcare, and this kind of personal health assistant could be a very big change, and users might be able to pay an extra dollar or two in order to get that personalization, especially when it comes to healthcare. Finance and trading seems to be another interesting vertical. A lot of agents are getting trained in terms of provide those kind of recommendations, helping them in placing those trades, so that when you are out on a holiday or you are sleeping, your agents are still trading with the best efficient trading strategy that might have been think through. Fraud detection is another interesting one that we have seen across different larger enterprises like JP Morgan, MasterCard. They are trying to use this kind of technology in order to prevent any fraudulent activity. Retail and e-commerce again have an element in terms of personalization, where we are seeing that it's not just putting up your clothes on a dummy character, but can that character be representing you? And basis, let's say, your dimensions of your figure, they can give you a best suited appears that you can buy it online, and that can reduce the return of those goods. So I think e-commerce seems to be again one of the bigger beneficiary, where there can be several use cases related to AI. Dynamic pricing and demand forecasting could be another area from an AI perspective.
Fantastic.
I think I would just quickly touch just maybe another 30 seconds in terms of the use case adoption in the Web3 space as well. That's the space that I belong
exactly.
to.
That is the most interesting part, Ravi.
Yeah, actually. So I think, this is where we are seeing that there are several very innovative AI companies who are trying to create those kind of solutions which are more, I would say, decentralized in nature. So imagine that there are closed source AI models being created by the big boys, but can there be an open source AI model that can be created where developer across the globe, they can come together and they can contribute in terms of model creation, and they get benefit when this model is particularly used. So I think there are players like Sentient who are using very interesting technologies like fingerprinting, which gives a possibility where the developer contributing to a model would have its fair share when these models are being used. Similarly, in the compute space, there are decentralized AI compute solutions that are out in the space where they are providing those scalable and secure AI model infrastructure in order to process. Then there are AI-driven smart contract opportunities also being created in the DeFi risk management space. DAO governance done by AI agent is another very interesting space. Then there is AI use cases which are happening in Web3 gaming. So I think
Fantastic.
There are very, very interesting use cases that are happening across the space, and we are bullish on both the sides, human to agent as well as agent to agent use cases.
Fantastic. I mean, this is a very broad-based perspective and a great initiative which Provido ID is taking. I congratulate to you and I wish you all the best. For this one last question, Ravi, before we let you go, as we speak, there is a big concern, in the overall cryptocurrency market. I'm talking about the macro factors that is impacting. So, what is your view of the current? I mean, how do you see this impacting or taking impact? I mean, the underlying is there are few factors that help the market gain, such as the Trump initiative or the Reserve initiative, and the interest rates were coming. Maybe there were 2-3 cuts that were happening. So, how do you see the markets panning out from here on?
I think there are several micro and macro economical factors that are influencing, and this is not just happening for a crypto market. I think we can see that overall the other markets are also behaving very dynamically, and as we understand, I think there are situations where it's a geopolitical things that are changing their ways, and at the same time the war situations across the globe have been playing out differently. What we feel, at least in my personal capacity, what I feel that these are again short-term, I would say, dips, but then the market seems to be bullish in terms of what is getting created in terms of a decentralized technology, and especially with this topic of AI, I think decentralized technology is going to be a backbone, or I would say the backend in terms of creating more fruitful AI solutions. So, I'm personally optimistic in terms of this smaller dips being the opportunities for the long-term runway that we would be able to create with this innovative technology.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ravi, for discussing with us about the latest initiative in this artificial intelligence and how security and a solution which is required for this industry is very crucial, and we hope this is going to be a very successful venture for you. I wish you, I congratulate you, and I wish you all the best for the next innings. Ravi, thank you so much for being part of this interaction. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.